Hey guys, welcome to a new video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can recommend other blog posts to readers so that readers can get as much content from you as possible. And more importantly, Google can look at it and say, readers are consuming more than one page on your site. Let's go ahead and give these guys a boost in rank. What happens is it doesn't actually work that way exactly. It's not like Google says, okay, more pages are being visited. Let's go ahead and rank these people. What it does is it decreases your bounce rate. And bounce rate is one of the ranking factors. I believe not pogo sticking, bounce rate is essentially when somebody comes to your page and bounces immediately off, which is a little bit different than pogo sticking. But once again, when somebody comes to your site and they're clicking through the search results through Google, when they click on that specific link, and they see what they see, and they bounce right off, they leave right away. Maybe they go to a different page on your site, or they just, in general, go back to the search engine. What happens is Google takes that as a bad interaction. Google says, for some reason, we didn't offer the reader exactly what they need. And what happens is the consumer or the reader is going to be given different results over time. And that's kind of why your websites on Google Search Console is always going up and down, up and down, up and down in terms of ranking. That's important, and that's something that should be noted. So how you can decrease bounce rate is recommend other blog posts to readers. And there's a way that I do this, because what happens is right before a bounce, you will see typically a reader will scroll all the way down. And this is the best place to do this. So I'm going to show you what I do to recommend, like I said, other blog posts to readers. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go to a blog. So let's go ahead and select this one, right? Does eating raw liver increase testosterone? And we're going to go ahead and scroll all the way down here, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to create a container. And what I'm going to do actually at the end is I'm going to save this so I can reuse it in the future, and you'll see how I do this. All right. So the way this works is I can recommend to my viewers different blog posts, but it's not as simple as me just adding blogs, because I can do that. I can literally leave this here at the bottom and just leave it there, but it's not as visually appealing. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my blocks, because I'm looking for a specific block. I want the block to be divided into two sections: text and image. And I could actually see that right here. So we're on the hero section. You can go to hero. You could actually look at the other blocks as well, but for now, let's just go to hero. And you can see here there's text, there's an image. This one also has text and image. I just saw this one in the text section where it has a super headline or a headline, and then some more text. We have image and text here. Like, for example, let's see, this one, okay? There's so many where this can work, right? So many different blocks where this can work. Let's go ahead and use this one right here. I know I said the other one, but let's use this one for the video. All right, so image and text, scroll down, and select this. There's so many you can use. The point is that they exist, right? And what we're going to do is this is already stored in its own container. And what we're going to do is we're going to add the image of that original blog post, right? So I can go here, and my blog post is specifically about, does eating raw liver increase testosterone? So I want things that are relatively similar, right? So I have blog posts, and I could go to my website and kind of show you here. Let's go to howtoboosttestosterone.org. Let's go to blogs, and you could see here we have, does garlic boost testosterone, right? So we can recommend that specific post to our readers. So I can select here, does garlic boost testosterone? And real quick, I do want to edit the way the image is looking. So I'm going to remove stretch if needed. And then what I'm going to do is go to the image, hit edit image, and then add a shadow to it, because I do want somewhat of a border, right? So I'm going to add an outer shadow, kind of like this. And I can make the shadow darker, kind of like what you're seeing here. So kind of like that. And I'm going to write the title. I'm going to write, does garlic, let's see here, let me get rid of this first of all. does garlic boost testosterone? Okay. Okay, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this little plus sign here. And this plus sign is adding an extra column, or an extra, I guess you could say, portion to the block. And I'm going to take this what we do and drag it here. And I'm going to go over here and I'll type in recommended blog posts. Okay, you can title this whatever you want. Pretty sure I spelled that wrong, but let's go ahead and see here. Grammarly says it's fine. Okay, recommended blog posts. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the summary of that blog post and paste it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save real quick. Okay, update. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to that blog post. So does garlic boost testosterone? I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy it. Okay, now what's going to happen here is, let me go to the raw liver. I'm going to paste it here. Okay, but this is too much text. It's just simply way too much for somebody to read. So I'm going to go over here and hit shorten. Okay, so for those who don't know, Rocket Web Builder has a built-in AI system that uses GPT language model. And I'm just going to go over here to take this text, and I'm just going to go over here and hit shorten. That's it. And what it's going to do is it's going to shorten it. Okay, so here, it literally cuts down that large summary into the article discusses the benefits of garlic in improving testicular function and overall health. It also highlights its detoxification, cholesterol reduction, antioxidant, antibiotic properties. The post offers a comprehensive look at how garlic can boost testosterone levels and overall health and well-being. So that's good, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little gap of the image and I'm going to decrease it. So I'm going to go something like this. And I'm going to have a button here. And this button is going to take the person to the actual article so they can read it, right? And so this button, I'm going to add the link or edit link. We're going to click on our blog section here. And then I'm going to find that article. So this article was about garlic, the garlic one. So there it is. And I'm going to hit new, make sure it's on new tab. Not that it's going to make a critical difference, but for now, let's just leave it at that. And then we can edit here the read the blog button. So I could say read the blog, right? And I can add a little icon just to make it a little bit more readable, more interesting for the reader. And they might be interested in it. So I can look for different icons here. So we have all kinds of different icons, right? So like, let's say this icon right here, and I can leave that the way it is, okay? Now here, I'm going to hit edit link, okay, or rather edit image, and I'm going to add an image description. So this is, does garlic boost testosterone? Just like that. And I'm going to hit save, or update, rather. Okay? Important to always keep updating your work so that you don't lose any progress. There's no shame in doing that, right? And so this is a section here of a recommended blog post. And I could do the same thing multiple times. Now, how am I going to do that? All I have to do is duplicate this. The widget is now copied. And here, I'm going to just simply take that copied widget and drag it and drop it here. Now, you notice it drags the same thing. We already have the title recommended blog post, so we don't need this. We can remove this, okay? And hold on, let's actually undo that. We don't need this section, right? So this I can delete. So I'm not going to delete. I'm not going to hit this button. I'm going to hit this button. And hold on, that was my error. This column, I'll just move it downward, then I'll delete the column. There we go. That's the column that I need to delete. And now we have this section. I would recommend about 3 articles that I'm recommending, right? And all it does is 2 things. Like I said, it decreases that bounce because readers have a history of scrolling all the way down before they jump off the page. And number 2, it increases that readability factor where the amount of pages a person visits, on average, it's going to be over like 1.7 most of the time, like 1.5, 1.7. I want to decrease that as much as I possibly can. Not every single blog post is going to be epic. It's going to be amazing. But I want to get the most out of my reader. Number 1, from an AdSense perspective, if you're making money through AdSense, you want to make as much money from your ads as possible. But number 2, sometimes recommending can help. if you look at YouTube videos, they do the same thing, right? So at the end of the YouTube video, right, as you're watching it, there's like these boxes that pop up with other YouTube videos that you can watch, right? So this will do kind of similar things. So let's go ahead and do this exercise one more time. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to hit save, okay? And by the way, you should watch this video to the end because I'm going to show you how to speed this up so you don't have to do it every single time, right? And I'm going to look for something similar. So let's say my cinnamon blog is doing, like, let's say it's doing okay, but I want to improve it. Like, I want to get more traffic to it. I'll go over here, okay? I'll go to that article, scroll all the way down, and I will edit now the components of this. So I'll hit edit image, and I'll find the cinnamon article image, which I think that it was this one. Does cinnamon increase testosterone? I'll click on it, okay? And I'll leave that the way it is. And then I'll change here, does cinnamon boost testosterone? Okay, and there was no reason for that to be all capitals, but there we go. And then what I'll do is I'm going to go back. I'm going to hit save or update. And I'm going to look for that specific article, okay? And not all my articles have great summaries, so we'll just copy this for now. And we can actually rewrite the article summary. But let's go ahead and actually, you know what? Let's do this now. All right, so I'm going to go to the AI and hit generate text. I want to do this actually through here first. And I'm going to tell the AI, I'm going to say, write for me a blog excerpt, and I have to spell that correctly. Excerpt, there we go. About my blog post, does cinnamon increase testosterone? In this article, we take a look at, let's see, what do we take a look at? We take a look at different lab tests to prove the increase and cinnamon's benefits, as well as other health benefits of cinnamon. Okay? And let's write here as well. Keep in mind that cinnamon, that this article, that this blog site is all about how to boost testosterone. It is how to boost testosterone.org. Okay? So essentially, I'm explaining to the AI exactly how I want this blog summary written. And just for the fun of it, let me copy this, just in case if I lose the prompt or I click away while it's doing its thing, I'll be able to just paste it in and not have to retype that whole entire message again. But right now I'm communicating to ChatGPT-4, or GPT-4, not ChatGPT, but GPT-4. And you could see it literally wrote this whole entire excerpt for me. Now, this excerpt is a little bit too long, right? So I'm going to cut out certain parts that I don't want. It says, welcome to How to Boost Testosterone.org. Let's go ahead and remove this. And then what I'm going to do is just hit the AI, and I'm going to hit shorten. I need this to be a little bit shorter. This is like literally like 3 paragraphs. So that's perfect, okay? And I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to paste it in the summary. And I'm going to get rid of this old text box here. I don't need this. And I will hit update. And now I can take that excerpt, and I can go here to my article, and I can paste it here. But once again, it's going to be too long for this specific section. And I don't want to, add any kind of similar content. So I'm just going to go over here to the AI, and I'm going to tell it to shorten it once again. So it's doing double the job here of shortening, but for different purposes, right? And there we go, all right? So shortened it slightly, didn't make a huge difference, but it did make a small difference. And I'm going to push this downward, and I'm just going to make the small alterations. So here, instead of read the blog, edit the link, This is pointing to the garlic article. I'm going to go over here to the pages. I'm going to select the blog and find the cinnamon blog. So the cinnamon blog is going to be somewhere down here. Let's see here. Let's see. It's somewhere here. Okay, let's go through them manually. Testosterone, CBD, apple cider vinegar, ginger, chili, cinnamon. There we go. And hit select. Okay. So now when somebody clicks this button, it will take them to that specific article. And this here, we're going to alter. Instead of garlic, we're going to write cinnamon. Just like that. And scroll all the way up and hit update. And now, since that's completed, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this content right here. So, well, I'm not going to move it. I'm going to save it. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. So this is a whole section by itself, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, right, like to this, and I'm going to hit add. And what this is going to do is this is adding an extra column, but I want it split. And I'm going to actually make this 3, just the way this one is. I'm going to decrease the middle size one and match exactly what's here. I'm going to move this upward, just like this. And I'm just going to drag and drop this stuff here. And there's a reason behind this, and I'll explain the reason right now. Is that when I put future articles in here, I don't want to have to sit here sometimes and recreate this whole thing. And if you look, by just me hovering my mouse over, if you guys can look here to the right-hand side of my arrow right now, there's this gray border that is literally right here, right? And it's all around this section. And this is what's called a container. This is one container hoisting this title, these titles. And by the way, that actually reminds me, this should be an H3, right? Because the other one is H2. So this should be an H3, and it probably already is. That's why it didn't change in size. And this should be an H2. That does matter. But anyways, this container hoists or holds all of this content here. And there should actually be 3 of them, but for the purpose of this exercise, it's good enough. And then what we're going to do over here is we're going to hit copy, okay? So we're going to the block, the whole entire block, not this column, but the block, right? And then we're going to hit copy widget. And now this whole entire widget is copied, but we don't need to like copy and paste it. What we want to do is we want to save it. So I'm going to go over here and hit save in the count, and I'm going to call this blog recommender. Okay, you can call it whatever you want, just something that reminds you of. And if I go over here to my saved ones, guess what? Blog recommender is right here. So watch this. I'm going to, just in case, save if I haven't already, go back, and I'm going to paste this in a different blog post. So watch this. So I'm going to go here to this article here. I'm going to scroll all the way down, and I'm going to go to my blog recommender in my saved section. And if I log out and I log back in, it's still there. So I can take this and paste it right here. And there it is. And all I have to do in the future is just make these small changes in the text, in the titles, in the images, and it's done, okay? And the reason why we did it specifically this way with the images and everything, and we added alt text, and this is very important, is because Google takes into account everything, every single part, the links, the buttons, the images, the views. First thing, this adds readability. I can easily just go here and just add a blog instead. Like if I go over here and I hit empty block and I hit plus and I add this little blog and I just do it the lazy way, sure, but who's going to pay attention to this? Not too many people, right? And if I was, let me just actually save this first of all. Let me save this and let's actually visit the article. The article is this one, okay? If I scroll all the way down, okay, this is the section that I created, right? And this is the section that was created for me when I just copied and pasted. But what looks more attractive? Is it this or this? Let's be honest. The answer is this. This looks more attractive. I can customize it for every blog, right? Versus having the same thing over and over. If my readers come to my site and see the same thing every single time, they're going to get lazy. They're going to get bored. And more importantly, they're going to have a natural blindness to it. When I show something that's new, it's different, every article, then they're going to notice it more. So if this is the same exact topics every single time, they're less likely to click, they're less likely to read, and more importantly, it's not as visual. This is much more visual, all right? And it adds that extra element. So hopefully, after this video, of you watching this whole entire video, you know how to kind of do this a little bit better, and it improves just overall the functionality of your site. All right? I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out. Bye. See you soon.